I guess what do you attribute just the third down success you had?
I thought we executed pretty good. We're obviously playing a young quarterback, making his first start, and an environment with that noise, with our home crowd, and I'm sure that was a big factor for that too. But we're doing some things a little bit better now. We're doing some things, getting a little more pressure on the quarterback, coverage, down and distance awareness, playing the sticks better in zone coverage and taking away the routes that we need to take away and not jumping things that we shouldn't. So a lot of little things contributed to it. I didn't realize it was that 0 for 13. I thought they had a couple by penalty, but anyhow, we certainly improved in some areas.
Was that one of the better four-man rush games you guys have had this year? And what have you noticed over the last few weeks? We
didn't do a lot of four-man rush. We had some four-man rush off of our odd package that we run, but I think we pressured the quarterback very well. We're still not getting them on the ground very frequently, and we're letting them scramble on some critical times and get yardage, getting out of the pocket. I thought there were about 2 or 3 times where our perimeter just did an unbelievable job holding coverage when we lost the quarterback. So we're still a work in progress in that area. We've got to keep doing a good job of that.
As you had some line of changes, then you had Brandon King, who I guess played for the first time on defense, wasn't it? Could you just talk about that, what he did exactly?
He was playing on our odd package, the 30 package, and got about 7 snaps, I think. Played really well. He had one misalignment, and he hadn't had he's only had a week at it, and I thought maybe, need to get him out at that time so he didn't bust another one, but when I look back and look at the film, he really played well. Work him into the regular linebacker rotation, I just don't know. I think hopefully that open day will give me a chance, because he really did some good things. And he's one of the best tacklers on the team. He's extremely fast, he's physical. He just struggled out back with some of the things you have to do as a deep safety. And you look at him sometimes and say, well, that guy's about 6'2", he's about 205, 215, he's a safety. Well, he may be a linebacker, and I'm going to work him a little bit more there, but he's definitely going to be contributing on that 30 package.
And that's with 3 linebackers at the time?
We had we keep 2 backers in and 6 DBs and 3 down. So
he's one of the 2 linebackers?
He did that, had about 7 snaps and did a good job on it. But I hope maybe he can play a little linebacker. We'll see. It's going to take a while before he can learn that. The other thing, of course, with the starters didn't have any practice time during the week. Chris got out there, I think, on Thursday and got about 25 or 30 plays with no contact. And I thought, number one, I thought the other 2 deserved to start because they practiced. And I had a little bit more confidence in them because they practiced and they knew what the game plan was. But I thought Cass and Frost came in, and when they did on the second series, they really made a big difference for us.
Ellis, speaking of the linebackers, how did Swain and Trey do in their first start?
Did okay. Swain was very solid. Trey, he made some freshman mistakes. A couple of alignment issues where he didn't recognize formation and adjustment. But it was good for him to have that happen. I think that'll certainly help him down the road.
Is the success this year defensively just a natural progression of knowing the schemes, the offense or the defense better? Or what do you attribute? It's a drastic change.
Yeah, some of it is no question. This time last year we were having 25, 28, 30 missed assignments every game. Now we're coming out of the game, we've got 8, maybe 10, and that's a drastic number when you don't have about 65, 70 plays. That's a big factor. We just have a little different complexion, last year we were a little bit faster, we were better third down pass rush, had a little more age in the secondary, but in the box, against the run, we weren't very physical, weren't very strong, and we were playing some things incorrectly. And this time last year we were very inconsistent, and we've still got some things to work on. Statistically, if you just pull out the play-by-play and look at the drive charts and all that, it's really impressive. But we've got a lot of things that we're not doing as well as we should. And, frankly, we're playing a young quarterback. This week we're going to be playing a quarterback who may be the best in the country at running the offense he runs. And, it's going to be a whole different deal. He's a veteran. He's had about 8 starts last year and he's played really well this year. And going to be playing at their place instead of our place. So I'm certainly not taking anything away from the effort and the accomplishment of our players. I think they did a great job. And I'm really proud of them. But the test is going to get a lot tougher. And it was a big factor there to have a young quarterback and a stadium, as loud as it was.
Ellis, you mentioned a concern about the scrambling quarterbacks, and Harris breaks off that one run for 30 yards when things do break down. When you are going up against Prescott and what he can do on purpose and when things break down, what do you have to do this week to improve in those spots?
We can't do anything different scheme-wise because we got to play the coverages we got. We just got to do a better job, staying on rush lanes and keeping them boxed up. One of the things that he broke out on the other day was man under 2 deep. Probably won't play that much against this guy. Maybe we will. We'll have to pick our times. But anytime, you rush and you got all man under and no zone, you got nobody hanging around there to help you. And that's got to improve. I mean, we get letting them escape for too many yardage. I think that was the longest run of the night.
Ellis, when you look on film from last year's game to now with Dak, what's the biggest improvement you see? Just him being comfortable, or has he improved
from last game last year?
Yeah, from the game when he played you guys.
Yeah, well, that was his first start.
Yeah.
If you remember, we prepared for Chris Ralph, who was recruited when I was there, and is a very different type player. And we didn't have a really good plan, and then when we tried to adjust it on the fly, they still did an excellent job. And his runs last year, design runs, were really the biggest problem we had in that game. So we obviously know what he's capable of doing. He was not as good at that time at maybe reading coverages and as accurate throwing. And right now, I mean, he is as good a dual threat quarterback as there is in America. He's throwing the ball on time, he's throwing it accurately. The little hot reads that everybody has off the zone reads when they see blitz coming or they know they don't have anything on the run. The quick throws outside on the hitches or the bubbles. I mean, he's hitting those things, the timing of them and the accuracy of them, as long as those guys can catch the ball and get upfield. So it's just a big difference. If those things aren't thrown exactly right, they're not as effective. So there's certain things that he's just doing so much better now than just running with the ball.
Added threat there and added concern trying to prepare for their receivers. They got big guys, it seems, at every position.
They got 2 big wideouts on the outside, and they got excellent speed on the inside receivers. The guy I think that really gives them the versatility is what we call our H-back, and he lines up as a tight end, he lines up as a fullback, he lines up as a wideout. They can know huddle and tempo without changing personnel and give you every formation in the book. And that makes it extremely hard because we'll shuffle our personnel packages sometimes to match up on down and distance or certain skill or big guys come on the field. Well, they don't change them much. Occasionally they'll change up a little bit, but that allows them to go faster. They may be the fastest paced team that we've played ever.
Ellis,
Makes it very difficult when you got a dual threat quarterback, you got the tempo, you don't have to sub. It really makes it tough.
Have you been there? Game day, I'm going there for the first time this weekend. What will it be like for those folks over there?
Well, I've been back with South Carolina once, but I've not been back since they enlarged the stadium. Kind of anxious to see it. It's still open-ended on one end, but it's horseshoe, closed in on the other. And I'm sure it's going to be a louder environment, and of course more fans, obviously. And I think it's going to be one of the toughest environments we've been in, even last year.
What went into starting Jamel President this week, and how did he play against?
Rodney bases it really on a lot of times on their practice performance and their previous game performance, and he's steadily been improving and did a good job, and I think he had confidence and gave him the start. It's almost a reward mechanism because they're all capable of playing, and we're playing a lot of guys because that's our philosophy. But the ones that get the start are the ones that usually have the best week of practice, coming off of a good game.
How did Jonathan Mincy play Saturday?
I thought he played exceptionally well. There were a couple of breakups y'all probably noticed, had some key tackles. There were some times where I think it was the primary receiver, and they took their eyes off of him real quickly because it looked like he had good coverage. But I thought he played really well.
It seems like this year that he's been thrown at less. Is there something that you're seeing in just his technique and improvement that is making that such, or is it just because Jones is a new guy where teams are going to pick on him now?
I think probably look at film and they see this kid's started 20-something games, and this one's never started until this year. And Trevon's out there as a wide out, converted wide out, probably testing those guys a little bit. The other thing, everybody's going to go after whoever the star is covering because they're going to assume he's the least cover guy on the field. And Cadillac sometimes surprises them with his speed and his cover ability. But really, I think it's what you said. I think they're going after certain players, and they feel like they're going after the least experienced when they go after the others.
How's Kenyon doing? And last one, I think he can make it back this week. Was she?
Who was that? Oh, Kenyon. I don't know. I think it's a high ankle sprain. He actually did it, not on the field. And it happened, I think, Friday or either Friday at class. So it's really only about 4 days, removed. But we haven't had anything other than these day by day.